MetaJoke refers to several somewhat different, but related categories: joke templates, self-referential jokes, and jokes about jokes, also known as meta-humor. This form of MetaJoke is a sarcastic jab at the endlessly refitting of joke forms, often by professional jokers, to different circumstances or characters without a significant innovation in the humor. Three people of different nationalities walk into a bar. Two of them say something smart, and the third one makes a mockery of his fellow countrymen by acting stupid. Three blokes walk into a pub. One of them is a little bit stupid, and the whole scene unfolds with a tedious inevitability. Bill Bailey: how many members of a certain demographic group does it take to perform a specified task? A finite number, one to perform the task and the remainder to act in a manner stereotypical of the group in question. There once was an X from place B, who satisfied predicate B. Then X did thing A in a specified way, resulting in circumstance C. This form of meta-joke contains a familiar class of jokes as part of the joke. Examples: bar jokes. Three men walk into a bar. Ouch. And variants: a dyslexic man walks into a bar. Two men walk into a bar. You'd think one of them would have seen it. Two men walk into a bar. The third one ducks. A baby seal walks into a club. Two men walk into a bar, but the third one is too short and walks right under it. An Irishman walks past a bar. What and why jokes? What has four legs and barks? A dog. You heard it. Why did the elephant cross the road? Because the chicken retired. What's an onomatopoeia? Just what it sounds like. Why did the chicken cross the road? To have its motives questioned. Limericks. W. S. Gilbert wrote one of the definitive anti-limericks. There was an old man of St. Bees who was stung in the arm by a wasp. When they asked, "Does it hurt?" he replied, "No, it doesn't. But I thought all the while 'twas a hornet." Tom Stoppard's anti-limerick from Travesties. A performative poet of Hibernia rhymed himself into a hernia. He became quite adept at this practice, except for the occasional non sequitur. There are 10 kinds of computer scientists: those who know nothing, those who know a binary, those who know ternary, those who know quaternary, those who know quinary. Truly self-referential jokes are quite rare, as they must refer to themselves rather than to larger classes of previous jokes. Examples: this joke is not funny when delivered in a deadpan accent. What do you get when you cross a joke with a rhetorical question? An Englishman, an Irishman, and a Scotsman walk into a bar. The bartender turns to them, takes one look, and says, "What is this, some kind of joke?" A priest, a rabbi, and a leprechaun walk into a bar. The leprechaun looks around and says, "Saints preserve us. I'm in the wrong joke." Three blind mice walk into a bar, but they are unaware of their surroundings, so to derive humor from it would be exploitative. Bill Bailey. Meta-humor is humor about humor. Here meta is used to describe that the joke explicitly talks about other jokes, a usage similar to the words metadata, data about data, meta-theatrics, a play within a play, as in Hamlet, and metafiction. Mark Galanter, in the introduction to his book Lowering the Bar, Lawyer Jokes and Legal Culture, cites a meta-joke in a speech of Chief Justice William Rehnquist. "I've often started off with a lawyer joke, a complete caricature of a lawyer who's been nasty, greedy, and unethical. But I've stopped that practice. I gradually realized that the lawyers in the audience didn't think the jokes were funny and the non-lawyers didn't know they were jokes." E.B. White has joked about humor, saying that a humor can be dissected, as a frog can, but the thing dies in the process and the innards are discouraging to any but the pure scientific mind. Another kind of meta-humor makes fun of pure jokes by replacing a familiar punchline with a serious or nonsensical alternative. Such jokes expose the fundamental criterion for joke definition, funniness, via its deletion. Comedians such as George Carlin and Mitch Hedberg used meta-humor of this sort extensively in their routines. Hedberg would often follow up a joke with an admission that it was purely told, or insist to the audience that the joke was funnier than you acted. Johnny Carson in his Tonight Show career used to get laughs when reacting to a failed joke with, for example, a pained expression. Immediately following a failed joke about Lincoln's death, Carson remarked, "100 years later, and you still can't do Abraham Lincoln jokes." The latter remark got a better laugh than the initial joke. Similarly, Jon Stewart, when hosting his television program, used to wring his tie and grimace following an uncomfortable clip or jab. Eddie Izzard often reacts to a failed joke by miming writing on a paper pad and murmuring into the microphone, "Must make joke funnier or don't use again." In one memorable scene, Groucho Marx said into a telephone, "Do you have Prince Albert in a can?" He then turned to face the camera and said to the audience, "Well, all the jokes can't be good, you have to expect that once in a while." In the US version of the British mockumentary The Office, many jokes are founded on making fun of poor jokes. Examples include Dwight Schrute butchering the aristocrat's joke, or Michael Scott awkwardly writing in a fellow employee's card an offensive joke, and then attempting to cover it with more unbearably bad jokes. The process of being a humorist is also the subject of MetaJokes. For example, on an episode of QI, Jimmy Carr made the comment, "People laughed when I said I wanted to be a comedian." Well, they're not laughing now. A joke previously associated with Bob Monkhouse. A limerick, poetry, referring to the anti-humor of limericks. A limerick packs jokes anatomical into space that is quite economical. But good ones, it seems, so seldom are clean. And the clean ones so seldom are comical. Anti-humor. Fourth wall. Meta. Meta-reference. Meta-parody. Self-reference. Snow clone. References